So I've got a question that's worth thinking about before you pick a knowledge management tool. Does it actually solve the problems that most teams list as their top frustration? You know, things like search that fails or content that's locked into PDFs that no one ever updates, and your team's answering the same questions on repeat. Most tools in the category do one of those things reasonably well, but very few do all things. And in this video, I'm going to walk through all of the 7 options that tell you exactly who each one is built for and show you which one stands apart when you need all 3 covered. What's up? My name is Chika, and I help SaaS teams build documentation systems that actually reduce support load. It's the kind of content that you need. You got to make sure that you subscribe. I cover the knowledge, the ops, the content, the systems, and of course, the self-service strategy regularly. So let's go ahead and get started. ProProfs Knowledge Base is built around one simple claim, and that is resolve 80% of support tickets automatically. The way that it does it is through AI search engines that answers questions directly, connected to a chatbot that handles the repeat ones so that they never reach your team. Pretty cool, right? Here is the AI featured stack. There's the AI writer that generates, expands, and redlines the articles from prompts so that your team is not starting from scratch on every single new doc. Once articles exist, the AI can actually improve them by tightening the language and fixing gaps. AI translation means that you're not manually coordinating localization workflow every time you need to support a new language. That platform actually supports over 90 languages. Now, on search, instead of returning a list of articles to sift through, the AI is actually trained on your content, and it surfaces a direct synthesized answer to plain language questions. The chatbot connected to the knowledge base then handles repeat questions automatically. That is the resolution loop the 80% claim is built on. For access control, the platform actually supports both public and private knowledge bases from one single account. You're going to get the role-based permissions, SSO, or Okta and Azure AD, IP restrictions, conditional content rules that actually show or hide sections based on audience, and of course, GDPR compliance. Customers see the public help center, internal teams see a different restricted version. You do not need 2 separate systems to manage that. When it comes to analytics, the reports surface failed searches, poorly rated articles, broken links, content gaps. You can also prompt the AI to to generate those custom reports or ask specific performance questions, which is genuinely useful as a shortcut for content teams trying to review or to fix the next. When you think multi-branding, it's worth a specific mention because it's actually a differentiator that most tools on this list do not actually have. You can create multiple branded versions of a knowledge base from a single account, each with its own custom domain, logo, and styling. For agencies, multi-product companies, or OEM setups eliminate that duplication completely or entirely. And the one thing to evaluate carefully is if your stack requires the API level connections across many tools to test the integration depth before committing. A free plan is available. Check the link in the description below for all the pricing details. If your team runs on support from Freshdesk and you want the knowledge base embedded in the same workflow without switching tools, the built-in KB actually fits very naturally. Agents can convert tickets, replies directly into the knowledge base articles, and solution article analysis actually helps monitor metrics like views and likes and dislikes. And that's a useful feedback loop that most standalone KBs do not actually have out of the box. And here's the important catch on pricing. The entry tier plan at $15 per agent per month includes the knowledge base, but only for internal use. To actually publish a public-facing help center for customers, you need to at least move to the Pro plan at $49 per agent per month. And if you want the AI-powered search suggestions or content approval workflows, those are actually locked behind the enterprise plan, which most teams can actually face significant scaling costs compared to those standalone tools that we were talking about. The bottom line is this: if you're already in the Freshdesk ecosystem and your budget scales with your agent count, this actually works really well. If you're looking for a standalone knowledge base without those constraints, it will feel boxed in fast. Zendesk Guide is the knowledge base component of Zendesk's broader platform. it's built for scale, but the actual pricing reflects that. The knowledge base feature requires at least a suite team plan, which starts at $55 per agent per month, billed annually. The basic support team plan does not include the knowledge base functionality. For multi-brand setups, Suite Team actually includes one help center. A Suite Professional supports up to 5, and a Suite Enterprise allows 300 help centers. Now, where it gets genuinely useful is for large teams. It actually supports the multilingual content, approved workflows, and tight integration with the Zendesk ticketing system so that your agents, my agents, can actually surface relevant articles during live ticket responses. Where it gets really frustrating, Zendesk currently does not allow article duplication, so migrating or restructuring content actually requires copying and pasting manually, which gets messy and it causes formatting errors. And if you want to leave Zendesk later, you're getting content out cleanly, and that can be actually a challenge since the export options are very limited. The best fit, organizations already using Zendesk for ticketing that want that lighter integrated help tightly at scale. If you are not already in Zendesk as the ecosystem, the price to value ratio for a knowledge base alone is really hard to justify. HelpCrunch is primarily a customer communication platform. The knowledge base is one component of a broader suite that actually includes live chat, email marketing, and chatbots. You can launch a public knowledge base with a custom subdomain and organize articles into categories and sections and use a WYSIWYG editor to add images, videos, and tables. The knowledge base is also integrated into the chat widget so that customers can search for answers before reaching that support agent. The editor lets you manually set SEO details for every article, including the tags, the meta tags, the descriptions, and the target keyword. The honest limitation, HelpCrunch is actually a communication tool first and a knowledge base tool second. If you need deep analytics, complex permission structures, or knowledge base that kind of serves multiple distinct audiences, you will actually hit a ceiling here. It's a strong choice, and if you want chat and KB together at a lower price point, it is actually comfortable with a lighter feature set on the documentation side. Help Scout Docs lets you build public support site in minutes with no code required. Color and formatting options are completely out of the box, and the CSS customization, if you want to go deeper, it's there. There is no limit to the number of articles you can actually add, and the beacon widget's actually one of Help Scout's genuine differentiators. It embeds all of your knowledge base directly into your website or app so that customers can actually search for answers in the context without leaving the page. Now, the AI features have a practical limitation worth knowing about, so let's lean in for a second. The AI chatbot's knowledge is actually limited to what you have published publicly. It cannot access the internal information from private Confluence pages, internal Google Docs, your team's support history, for example. You know, teams that wear a lot of institutional knowledge and have all that in a place that lives in private documents, that is actually a real gap. Private docs are viewable only by users inside your Help Scout account. It's not possible to password protect the doc or to serve private context or content to external users outside of that Help Scout environment. This is a best fit for small teams that want a fast, clean help center without a heavy setup process. And if you need a sophisticated permission layer or a knowledge base that serves multiple external audiences differently, you're gonna need to look at other options on this list. Notion is excellent for what it actually is designed to do, to give internal teams a flexible, collaborative workspace to organize processes, onboarding guides, and of course, shared resources. Where Notion actually fails short, or where it falls short, if you will, as a dedicated knowledge management tool, it's because there are no native public help center features. You can publish a Notion page publicly, but there is no out-of-the-box support, branded help centers, ticket deflection, article analytics, or contact forms. Content governance is actually limited as well. Notion does not have built-in content review workflows, version control, or page lifecycle management like expiration dates or review reminders. As your documentation grows, maintaining consistency actually depends entirely on your internal discipline. And one more thing worth noting, in May 2025, Notion actually moved AI features behind its business plan at $20 per user per month, which changes, the cost of calculation for teams that have had factored AI into their actual workflow. So use Notion for internal wikis, team collaboration, but do not use it as your primary customer-facing knowledge base. SupportBee is a help desk tool that converts customer emails into trackable tickets, and it includes a basic knowledge base for FAQs and self-service. It's actually quite straightforward to set up and priced accessibility starting at $15 per user per month, and the startup plan, which includes the shared inbox knowledge base and basic integrations, is pretty cool. The honest limitation comes though directly from the user reviews. Anything more than a couple of dozen of resources actually becomes difficult to organize, and the search function has drawn consistent criticism from customers for being unreliable. For a team managing 20 to 30 articles and a small ticket queue, it's actually quite adequate. But for anything larger than that, those structural limits will surface actually very quickly. So here is a decision framework so that you can actually map your situation to the right tool. If your primary need is internal documentation, you have no customer-facing help center yet, Notion actually gives you a collaboration-first workplace to go and get started, and to get started fast. Just plan for a migration when you need to go public. If you're already running a support on a Freshdesk or a Zendesk, and you want the knowledge base embedded into your existing ticket workflow, stay in those ecosystems. Just go in with your eyes wide open on which pricing tier unlocks the wanted features that you actually need. If you're on a very small team that wants to live chat and a basic knowledge base in one affordable tool, HelpCrunch and HelpScout actually do this very well. HelpCrunch leans more towards that proactive customer engagement, and HelpScout leans towards the clean self-service documentation. But if your situation is this, you need that standalone knowledge base that serves customers and employees and partners very separately, with AI-powered self-service that actually resolves the ticket, with strong access controls and the flexibility to brand differentiate between the versions and audiences without actually duplicating. Then ProProfs Knowledge Base is the only tool on this list built specifically for that job. The others are knowledge bases inside broader platforms, but ProProfs is a knowledge-based platform that actually connects to other tools. That distinction matters when knowledge is your primary infrastructure, not a secondary feature. The free plan available, 15-day trial, is all premium features, and the link is in the description below. Before you go, let me know in the comments, are you currently using a knowledge base for your team or customers? Drop a yes or no, and I will share a quick tip either way to help you get more value out of it. And if this was useful, as always, we'd love for you to subscribe for more content on ops and self-service support strategies. We will see you in the next one.